and feeling great. Om Shanti and welcome to Light of Knowledge. Today we're going to be discussing a very interesting topic, something that's closer to home, social media. The true purpose of social media essentially was to bring people in different places together and to strengthen relationships. But is it really doing what it is intended to do? Let's discuss this with Sister Shreya from the Brahma Kumaris. Welcome to the show, Sister.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Sister, I was doing a little bit of research on social media and I have something to share with you, if I may read it out to you. The research says, Sister, that there are about 2 billion worldwide users on social networks. There are about 500 million posts that are done every single day. There are about 70 million images or photographs that are uploaded in a day. And there are about 300 hours of video uploaded every minute. It's as if people are spending so much of their time on social media. And I think there's another stat that says about 23 hours a week.
And that's almost like a part-time job.
Truly. And we say that we're so busy and we don't have time. And somehow we are drawn to it. You know, people get up in the morning, the first thing they do is look at their social media comments, likes, posts, messages. If they're in a meeting and they have to wait for colleagues to join in, they'll be checking their social media. If they have to wait for friends in a cafe, you'll see them killing time by going through their social media. Before they go to sleep at night, that's the last thing they do. So it's just so addictive. Why do you think this is happening, Sister?
Addiction is a very strong word and we would only use it with alcohol, with cigarettes. But now you see that this word is very easily associated with social media. You know, people are thinking that social media is also very addictive. One thing with addiction is that there is definitely a void that you try to fill from that addiction. That is why no matter whichever addiction it is, it could be alcohol, it could be cigarettes, it could be chocolates or it could be social media. You're getting a high out of it. Until you don't take that high from somewhere else, it is not possible for you to let go of that. And that is why sometimes you will say parents, you know, especially with parents, because you have these young children, adults spending so much time on their phone. I personally have a lot of mothers and parents with this constant complaint that their child is spending a lot of time on their phones, especially during their exams, and so much time is going into that. And no matter how much they tell them, the child will promise, but is not able to let go of that addiction. So it's a high that you get out of that addiction.
It actually takes me back to, you know, an average day when you're checking your phone or you're checking your laptop and you have a social media platform open before you. And all that you're doing is you're kind of scrolling through. And when you're scrolling, there is a series of images that you see. You have your friends or your colleagues who have uploaded photographs at international locations or photographs of certain achievements, winning trophies or receiving certain accolades. And then you have comments and posts that are put up maybe on a regular basis of what they are doing, what they have done, what they are planning to do. And somehow that constant feed of information, both in terms of written comments as well as images, makes me feel a little low after having received all that information.
This is an addiction where it's not just making you feel high. Now this addiction has reached a point where it is actually making a lot of people feel low also. To an extent, it's taking them to a state of depression also. I think one reason is because if you're constantly seeing those pictures, there's very subtle sanskar that we see that picture and we compare that picture to ourselves. It's like a new photo that your friend has put, maybe in a very different location, and she's looking very nice, and then you see that everybody has complimented her and there's a lot of views and stuff. So suddenly you start feeling that she is very happy. They say sometimes, you know, it's like glamorous shots versus daily grind. So what you're seeing there is a very, very glamorous shot, and you are into your daily grind because you're just waiting for a meeting or something, you're just killing time. And when you see that, suddenly the whole feeling starts to come that they are really enjoying life. What a life they have. Look at my life, it's so boring, and you start feeling low. It's not the picture that's making you feel low. It's your own, after you see the picture and then what you do with that photo in your head. It's very difficult to forget that photo, sometimes you can close that social media app, but it's constantly there in your mind. And once that mental chattering starts, within minutes I think you can feel very low. And imagine you're going for a meeting where you need to be enthusiastic, you need to be full of joy, you need to be creative. But imagine now your state of mind, you really don't enjoy that meeting anymore. You just wish if you could also be somewhere there in that location. And how many times do we have somebody putting a very normal photo on these platforms? If anybody puts a photograph, it's that perfect photo.
Oh yes.
It's not an ordinary photo. It's not a simple photo. It's a perfect photo, perfect smile, perfect dress. So it's more like people are living two lives. Everyone. One which is their ordinary life, and the other is this online mask that they're wearing.
Which they show the world.
Which they show the world. And they also feel the pressure to keep this up.
And sometimes when you see that they are living this perfect so-called image, you feel, oh wow, I wish my life could also be like that. I wish I could be as happy as them. Or I wish I could go to that country and travel as well. Or I wish I could get that award too. So in the sense, you're sort of, comparing yourself constantly with what you see out there.
You compare and you don't feel good. You don't feel good because you think happiness is there. It's like actually you are happy because it's a state of mind. Happiness is nothing. Happiness is state of mind. It's what you are thinking and what you're feeling. But suddenly you pick up a stimulus, not a very good stimulus, and you just create all these thoughts and start feeling low. And then you're not in the moment. Happiness is in the moment. It is a choice. It's a decision. I can be joyful right now. I am that. But then you start dreaming, okay, one day when I go there and I am standing there wearing this perfect costume, I will be happy. So you just postpone the whole thing. And I remember I was talking to this person who by profession is an actor. And he was sharing, because normally you see this fraternity, the actors are also quite addicted, not even addicted, but they use this platform for building their image. And then I kind of asked him that, doing this all the time, don't they feel that, their privacy, they have no privacy, it's like shared with everybody. And I don't know about everyone, but he very honestly shared. He said, this is not something that I like to do. It's not like I stand outside a plane and I want to click a picture and share it with everyone, and then I click another picture and I share it with somebody. Sometimes I am compelled to do. In their field, they're compelled to do. He told me that the audience who's watching him has a very short-term memory. So if he's not there on the social media platform, they will forget him. And that's where I realized that, as an actor, of course, it's his role, but you are so dependent on people's approval, their appreciation, that people should remember you. And I could see him feeling very insecure. So if he wouldn't post like at least 10 to 15 photos in a day, he would feel so insecure to an extent that I think the world is going to forget me and I will lose my identity. So he was identifying with it so much.
And now this takes me actually to people who are actually posting. When they go for a holiday, sometimes they will just take an international holiday with the sole purpose that at the end of the holiday, they have an opportunity to post all those photographs online. And you'll see that after the tour for the day is over, they'll rush to the hotel. They'll check if they have Wi-Fi in the hotel so that they can quickly upload the photographs and then wait for the comments and the likes. And then it's not over there. Then they'll wait for, what are the number of likes? Oh, 20. Oh, 20 is gone to 30. 30 is gone to 40. It's like you're following a score. And they'll watch number of comments, and they also get disillusioned then if people don't comment or people don't like. So it's actually quite pressurizing on the other person, the people who are posting and uploading as well.
Yeah, because it's more like the competition also, who gets more views, who gets more likes. So every time you put a picture, it's like, if you see the process, that you don't really enjoy when you've clicked the picture. You haven't enjoyed the moment because you have clicked the photo, because at the end of the day at the hotel you're going to upload it. So you lost that moment. You lost the moment where you were clicking the picture, because in your mind it was that it has to be this perfect shot. Then you lose another moment when you're uploading it. Then also you don't really enjoy. So enjoyment will be only after somebody comments. See? It's like round and round. You could have just enjoyed the moment. But now it's so complicated that you click something, you try to make it perfect, then you come back, look for the right moment, then you upload it, then you have to wait. You have to wait for somebody to comment. And sometimes you are just commenting people's profile pictures because you want them to comment on your own. Sometimes you don't want to, but you know that if you don't wish them, if you don't write a comment for them, they will not write a comment for you. And then you wait. And then when somebody says something very nice, it's like a high. The compliment is like a high, and suddenly that compliment is replaying in your mind. It's making you feel very, very good. But it's very dangerous, because if what people are saying is making you feel very good, you're also very vulnerable, because then you are very dependent on public opinion. So suddenly if somebody criticizes your dress, even the location, even anything, you're going to feel terrible. So look at the dependency, because it's totally, my feelings are dependent on public opinion.
It's a very needy sort of a feeling, where you're waiting for them to appreciate me so that I feel good, my day goes well.
Yeah, when it's an addiction, it's a very needy thing. When you use it to such an extent, then it's like what you said, constantly you are checking it. Constantly you are in a meeting and you are checking it. You are at airport, you are checking it. You have people writing comments which are something, like, now I've reached the airport. Now I've boarded the flight. Now I've reached the destination. It's almost like it's a very interesting piece of news. So it's like, you're so addicted that every bit of news you're putting in there and waiting for somebody to acknowledge it.
And it's so trivial sometimes. It is not really something that will benefit people at large at times, some kind of information. Like, you could just be, like you were saying, reach the airport, open the door, looked out of the window.
It's like, it's a lot of pretension. Sometimes it can be a lot of pretension, to an extent that sometimes you're writing a comment, oh, you're looking so pretty and I'm so excited for you, and internally you have this very funny feeling, you feel low. You're writing a very good comment and internally you are thinking, why do they only get an opportunity? Some of these some platforms where you would talk about your promotions.
The professional networks,
So, there's somebody who has put in a new promotion that they have received, and you have to write a comment, I'm so excited for you and congratulations. I'm not saying it happens with everybody, but I have also gone through this funny feeling when I was in college, that you would be putting this comment, a very nice comment, and you're kind of appreciating them. It's a funny feeling inside.
Yeah, you're jealous.
You kind of don't even like them at that moment. It's not genuine appreciation. So I think the whole thing, you're losing the genuineness of friendship also.
And the amount of time that you spend, on social networks somehow has now made it difficult for people to just keep that phone or the gadget aside and just be with yourself. It's almost, if you just sit doing nothing, you feel a little bit uncomfortable. You need to reach out to that phone, you need to check something, or you need to go to the laptop. It's somehow made the whole aspect of being alone very abnormal.
Not just being alone. Alone is, I think, very, very far now. Even being with human beings, interacting with people, you're only interacting with the gadget. So first we would always think that silence is golden. Everybody would want to spend some time alone with themselves. We're losing that contact. And they sometimes say that the worst place that you can be is in your own head. Because the moment you lose contact with those gadgets, you are able to listen to yourself. Till now, all your attention and focus is on the others. So you're listening to others' stories and you're kind of thinking about their journey. But when you sit in silence, you connect with yourself. So your journey comes in front of you. You can hear your own thoughts and your own feelings, and sometimes they are not nice. They're not nice.
Yeah.
They're creating so much stress, anxiety, jealousy. You don't want to deal with it. You don't want to accept it, look for ways to deal with it. Actually, the best thing is if you can be content when you're alone.
And some people want to escape these moments of being alone because suddenly they have to confront so many things that they don't like to see, that they then move to, okay, let me just avoid these things and maybe use social media to make me feel better.
You know, I think people should experiment being just with themselves at least for a couple of hours. I don't think it's possible for many of the people. You look for something, you know, you will look for a book to read, or you will look to call somebody, to have a chat, to go meet someone. It's always you want to involve outside, but you're losing contact inside. And it's inside out. What you feel within is what you're going to radiate outside. But the whole addiction is because there's no connection with the inside, so you want to fill yourself from outside. Outside is temporary. Outside is a dependency. So the more you depend, the more you're in a state of fear. So we've lost contact with the self. Now when you lost contact with the self, at least some time back, when the whole addiction to social media was not there, you were reaching out to people.
Right.
You were meeting friends, you were meeting colleagues. At least you were still meeting people who were thinking and who were radiating energy. In that kind of contact, it helped you actually grow. Because when you meet people, you will have to be patient, you will have to be tolerant, you will have to be accommodating. So you're using your virtues, you are using your powers, you're empowering yourself. The whole idea when you're in a joint family, so many people are living together, and when you're living with so many people, you have to adjust. It kind of makes you very, very powerful. You're very tolerant and compassionate. Then because we don't want to do that, we moved from joint family to now to a nuclear family, to an extent that I don't want any human interaction.
I'd like to be alone.
I like to be alone. I want my space. Everybody wants to live alone. But you're not comfortable with yourself. You're not comfortable with people. But you then get hooked onto a machine.
You know, sister, there's another aspect of social media that I'd like to cover since we're talking so much about it, is it in a way limits your ability to think independently. You know, for example, you have a lot of communities, a lot of groups that advocate a particular cause or a particular, it could be a particular game, it could be anything where people are strongly propagating it. And you tend to somewhere align to it because the majority is aligning to it, or you tend to get influenced by it, especially if you're a young child, you've just got an account, you've just signed in, you want to do what all your friends are doing. So somewhere, you know, you get vulnerable in this process, you get influenced easily, and you're not able to rationally think independently.
It's actually too much information. If you're spending hours and hours in a day, and like you said, 23 hours in a week, it's too much information that you're taking in. We do not need that much information. We cannot even process that much information. It is like overstimulating our brains. And that is why so many people are not able to sleep. Because the more information that you take in, you need to process that information. So the mental chatter goes on. And sometimes it's only your body that sleeps. The mind is awake. You get up in the morning, you feel not rested properly. You kind of feel exhausted, tired, because the mind was still thinking about all the information that you've taken in. And sometimes that could be the first thought also. The last image that you saw at night, that image might come in your dream. And then when you get up, you may begin that day with that image. It's like it has full control over your mind. And that's where you're saying that you can't think rationally. One thing that it damages, which I think it shouldn't, is your intuitive powers. You know, the intuition where we know what is right and wrong, everybody has these intuitive powers. Intuition is a very beautiful word that says in-tutor. That means there's a tutor sitting inside who kind of knows what is right or wrong. But if you take in too much of this information, you kill that intuitive abilities. Then you're not able to decide what is right and wrong for yourself. And like you said, you just flow with where everybody is flowing. You just get influenced. Whichever community has more likes or whichever is the thing which is trending, you just follow. Even in the sense of fashion, I mean, you won't intuitively think what looks nice, what I should wear. No, but whatever it is in the world, you just blindly kind of follow. I don't think it will not make you a leader in any sense.
You know, sister, I like this point that you shared in terms of the volume of information that you're reading. You know, and I can speak from my personal experience, because there was a point in time that I actually got exhausted with social media. There was so much of information that I was reading on different accounts, different platforms, that it kind of made my head very noisy. And I actually took a decision to actually quit social media and not use it at all. I don't know if that's a right choice, but I really want to ask you, can you really use social media for a greater purpose?
Yeah, see, social media is very good. As a platform, it is very good. As an organization, like if you say even Brahma Kumaris uses social media, but if you're using in the right way, that is to spread right things, to influence people in the right manner, it's more important, I as an individual, how am I using it? Social media as a platform is not wrong. I don't think so. It is just a beautiful, it's another platform where it helps you. Two benefits that I can really see in my personal life. It has helped me to be connected with lot more people, to share my ideas and views with lot more people. And secondly, you are updated with what's happening in the world quickly, without any filtration. Sometimes when you get to listen after like a day or two on the news channel, you may not get the right thing. But sometimes with this platform, anybody can speak the truth and put it. A soldier maybe on the border, anybody, you know, you get direct news which is unfiltered. So there are certain benefits, but the only thing is excessive use is damaging your personality, is damaging your identity.
So from this conversation, sister, we've touched both the positive and the negative aspects of social media. And I have heard that the Brahma Kumaris as an organization really uses social media in a very constructive way to impact people's lives. And I would really like to hear something about it.
One thing that I've understood is that whatever information that we're taking in on the daily basis has a lot of impact on our thought process. You know, if you continuously watch this news, sometimes, you know, the news, the quality of the news that you see on the television is very negative. You see things happening in the world, and suddenly if you read a lot of negative news, you realize that even if your child is late 10 minutes, all that you see on the news channel come back to your mind. So this made me realize that the information that I'm taking in has the deep impact on my thought process. Now we can change the quality of the information. If we start taking very positive and elevated information inside, automatically the thought process is very elevated. And Brahma Kumaris is using social media in that way. So through some of the videos that we circulate, some positive thoughts, online videos, they may be just 15 minutes, 20 minutes of sharing elevated knowledge, and when people hear that, it changes their thought process. They are more positive in their lives. So when the thought is positive, their attitude is positive, their actions are positive, actually they don't even realize they start creating a very positive destiny for themselves. I remember this, that once Sister Shivani of Awakening with Brahma Kumaris was sharing something very beautiful with me. She said a lot of people came up to her and said that after they had started watching their show, which is just like 20 minutes, 25 minutes of positive media, they were able to rid of their depression. Just 25 minutes of positive media every day helped them to get rid of depression, which they were facing for years. And you can also imagine, on the other hand, if 25 minutes of positive media can do that to you, can bring you out of depression, then many hours of negative media Negative information can put you into depression also. That is where Brahma Kumaris are helping people, that couple of minutes of elevated knowledge and you are able to stay in a very positive frame of mind.
It's very beautifully said, sister, and I'm sure that a lot of our viewers have benefited from today's conversation. I think they now realize and have an understanding of both the positive and negative aspects of social media, and I do hope they use it constructively. Thank you for joining us, sister.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
So friends, irrespective of the social platform that you use, I do hope that you use it constructively. Please be wary of the impact of the information on your mind and exercise the right judgment. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you have any questions, comments or feedback, do feel free to reach out to us. Thank you and take care.